Alright you beautiful people, Kenshi here, bringing you episode 34 of Kenshi Age of Blood and Sand Iron Man playthrough. So at the end of last episode, we had one of our hives taken by the Oni and taken into Verge. I thought it was only one, it turns out it is two. So that is Cops and Tinny have been taken by the Oni into Verge, being taken to their tower. We've got quite lucky because the Oni have dropped the two hives for some reason, I don't know why. But what we're doing is we're sending a rescue party. I left it up to the vote yesterday to see what you guys wanted to see me do. Do you want me to rescue them or leave them to die? Because rescuing them, we put the whole colony at risk. The Holy Nation Assault is coming and we can't get down to them and back before the Holy Nation Assault arrives. So there's a pretty decent chance that, yeah, if I leave those two, they're guaranteed to die. If I carry on and go for them, I stand to lose a lot more hives from the Holy Nation Assault than the two taken by the Oni. But with Lidus' mentality of no hive is left behind and no hive is captured by the Oni and then slowly and gradually tortured and killed, we're going to get them. Call it our Caesar's moment, as if you would. We are going in, we're sending a strike team. The strike team is with 5 hives. Well, technically 4 hives, but I imagine you can tell who the 5th is. We have Lidus and Ray, Tychus, Toucantino and Nippy going in to rescue our hives. No one is left behind. Okay, the way it's going to work is we're running with a group of 5. The reason we're running with a group of 5 is because we are going to get in fights along the way. And the easiest way to do this is when we get in a fight, I can peel a hiver off to defend the group. So we'll start with Toucantino as he's my slowest. And as you can see, Toucantino is already in a fight now. Then we'll pull off Nippy as and when needed. And then we'll get a Tychus. Tychus is quicker than all my other hives, but he's also one of the weakest we've got out there. Well, he is the weakest, simple as that. So we'll go Toucantino. Then we will go Nippy. Then to Tychus, and then we'll use Lidus and Ray to get the guys if we can, if everything lines up properly. The Holy Nation Assault was 7 hours ago or away when we left the base. We left the base about an hour and a half ago. So we have just over 5 hours, 5 to 6 hours to get into Verge and back. We're just clearing Skinner's Roam. We are into the Deadlands. The Deadlands is a pretty safe place because we are quicker than well, I guess other than the Bloodhounds, we're quicker than everything else in that area, so we don't need to worry too much. But we are going to be in a good situation. The time is super important, so my hives that are down, we have them crawling to the Deadlands. Those little extra steps and those few extra seconds are going to make a massive difference. Toucantino's going back to the base. He's going to head up the defense so that we can try to stall the Holy Nation until the other guys are back. Will it work? Probably not. It's going to be a fairly large Holy Nation attack from what we've seen on the other ones, and my hives are not much in the way of fighters. As you can see, Tychus is my fastest, which is perfect. So long as he doesn't aggro anything, run into any contact or conflicts, he's going to be pretty good. I thought Lidus and Ray would be getting him first, but I guess Tychus is, and it makes sense, Tychus is the fastest. The other guys are close behind, and we're in a good place. So the guys should just be over the hill. So we're going to get them and run back. But as with everything Kenshi, if you've got speed on your side, getting in is always the easy bit because the game still has to populate all the area. So getting in is going to be nice and simple. It's getting to 12:30 now, so it's a bit late. We get the first guy, we pick them up, and then we just try to get out as quickly as we can before all the enemies start showing. Because what I don't want, and what obviously I definitely don't want, is I don't want to be losing guys in Verge now, which there is a very real possibility of doing if we get overrun by thralls, because they go around in huge groups and they're robots, so they're so hyper dangerous. You've also got Onis, so if we get taken down, the Onis are going to go in. If we get bogged down or we get in a fight too long, the laser beams are going to kick back on and they will fry us. Basically everything in this area wants to kill us, so we need to be in and out as quickly as we can. We can't wait around. We're not even going to heal the guys at the moment. We're just going to try to get them as close to the border or out of the zone as we can before we even think about healing them, because they'll survive at the moment, but they won't survive if we get hit by another laser beam. They won't survive if we get overrun. We need to keep going as quickly as we can, because with the time that we've spent so far, we will not be back in time for that Holy Nation Assault. The Holy Nation Assault will have been at our base for a couple of hours, even if everything goes perfect at the rate that it's going, and we get back, which we need to be careful of. We do have a bunch of hungry bandits coming in, just to keep us on our toes. These hungry bandits aren't going to be the end of the world. We've dealt with countless hordes of hungry bandits so far. It's good practice, it's good training, but this time it runs into the slight issue of we have a big Holy Nation assault coming in behind, and we don't have our fighters with us. We got a couple guys like the city guard, I guess you'd call them, that can hold the line. They're okay, but they're not amazing, and they're not going to do super well. We will need to get the guys healed up, but that bandit assault coming in is going to strip a lot of our guys off a lot of their HP. So when we do finally get attacked by that Holy Nation, they're going to cause so much damage, and we just got to hope that the journey back is going to be completely uneventful and we can make it. It's looking good so far. We're getting out before laser beams go back on. So far we managed to be quick enough that we've outrun anything that's after us. Nippy and Ray are making their way back to the base as we speak, so that should be pretty ideal. If we get Nippy and Ray back at the base and the Holy Nation assault shows up, they will be able to hold for a decent amount of time, and I can always run Ray around and heal everybody up. Just trying to keep people alive. But then if it's like the other Holy Nation assault that we had, so yeah, we are not far off now from that assault. Yeah, but if it's like the other Holy Nation assault we had, which for some reason was like 3 times larger than the other assaults, even though the sizes are bigger on these than anyway, but this one was far bigger. We also got Nippy in a bit of trouble. Nippy's quick and he's strong, but that many beak things, he could take them, he could definitely fight them, but the amount of damage he will take fighting them will basically mean that it'll be useless in the fight against the Holy Nation. So I've just made Ray take a detour. Ray's going to come up from the south instead of cutting across. What this means is Ray's definitely going to be able to block most of those attacks, and if the damage goes on to Ray, because he's got the thick armour, they won't do as much damage against him. We'll use Nippy to go and start picking them off, work them down, because Nippy should be able to take them in, say 3 or 4 hits. And then Ray can just absorb most of the damage, block most of the attacks, which will leave Nippy in a really good situation to fight when the Holy Nation comes in. Because Nippy is going to be my main damage dealer, and especially when we get back, because Tychus and Lidus are a long way away from being in that fight. So we just got to hope that Nippy didn't take too much damage. I don't think he would have, but you can never be too sure. Beak things, you run into a lot of difficulty if you underestimate beak things. You can treat them with way too much respect, and that will cause you a lot of issues, or you not treat them with enough. But we can see the Holy Nation assault just off to the side of the Holy Farm. It's going to get there. It's going to be tight. Tychus is nearly back. He's not far off, so hopefully he'll be there. We got Ray coming in. We got Nippy in front, but the Holy Nation assault is upon us. It doesn't look like a massive assault, and thankfully most of it is outside the city walls. It being outside the city walls is so unbelievably good. The reason it's so good is it means that things like my smiths and a lot of my miners will be left alone. That means they can carry on doing the work that's needed. Well, it looks like one Holy Chosen has come in, but I think now my guys should be able to take a Holy Chosen. Oh, we got Swamp Dog as well. Swamp Dog's doing his part. I definitely need to to train him up. I mean, he's having a nice time, and then we got my other miners about doing what they can. But it is just going to be a matter of just trying to hold the line as long as my guys can before the heavy hitters can come in. Once my heavy hitters are in, it is going to be a nice quick fight. It's going to be easy. We don't have to worry too much. But is there a chance of people bleeding out at the moment? Yes, there's a fairly big chance that people will. Our guys are outnumbered multiple to 1, and at the moment it is most of my Hive drones that are up. So we got like Photo going, well, he was going, but now he's down. Munch is down. Well, Munch is asleep, he's just been a bit lazy, it would appear. Get into the fight, mate. What are you doing? But yeah, the pretty much all my fighters are down. 2 Cantino sending back was a great idea. He's still in the fight. Nippy's now in the fight, so as long as Nippy doesn't get overrun, he should be alright. What we're going to do with Nippy is we're going to pull Nippy off, and we're just going to have him focus down the crossbow guys. Because it's those guys with the crossbows that are the ones that take Nippy down. It's not the guys with all the swords and the axes. Those guys do a lot of damage to him, but Nippy can largely deal with that because that's focus across his body, whereas the crossbows mainly affect his blood. And once he runs out of blood, well, he's out the fight. and that takes a long time to heal, whereas the rest of his body parts don't. So the quicker we can keep Nippy in the fight, the more we can get him in the fight, the more we can have him going around taking the guys out, and also less numbers they have, which means they can't bring the 5 attack slots to bear against us. Okay, Ray's in, Nippy's in, 2 Cantinos in. We are looking like we are in a pretty good place. A couple of our soldier drones are up. I have had a look around to see if people are bleeding out. We've got people low, but nobody is dangerously low at the moment. So we're still going to need to be careful, but we are in a pretty good place. But yeah, see there, like, one of the top guys in the Holy Nation Assault, Nippy, 1 bite to the chest. He's down. Not instant, took a couple of seconds to realise that he's like, has half his abdomen missing from a bite, but yeah, I think we've done alright. And Deus Ex Machina again, the balls have come in. Man, the Holy Nation really needs to stop fighting pick and fights for the wildlife. Like, this colony would have been wiped, I reckon, about 4 times if the Holy Nation didn't decide they wanted to fight the local wildlife at the same time. They would have been saved so many times. But it looks like we're holding. Just about. We got the 2 guys back from Burge, and we haven't lost anyone yet. Honestly, I didn't think it was doable. I did not think that this group of Hivers, with my atrocious micromanaging, would be able to pull it off. But yeah, I'm really happy with how that turned out. That's definitely one of the more stressful episodes to record and then edit. Oh, I could not see how we're going to pull it off. But whereas Iron Man, I've only got 1 shot at it, so I had to spend so long trying to figure out, but we managed it. So to wrap this episode up, we're going to need to get hydroponics up on the station house, because we are basically out of fabric and medicine stuffs at the moment, so the sooner we can produce our own the better. We'll send Lidus down to the Adventurous Guild to get a backpack for Nippy, and then Ray and Nippy can go down to the Holy Mine and kill all of the Holy Nation that have run off there to hide, because, well, we all know Nippy's going to do it anyway. So I'm going to need to bring the episode to an end here, so thank you very much for watching episode 34 of Kenshi, Age of Blood and Sand. I've been Konzi. All the comments, likes, subs have been amazing, and I look forward to catching you on the next one.